Who's that, you know?
Oh, well, we have started. We are live. So let's just continue. If Janet, if you see Tiffany come on board, just bring her in if you would.
Sure,
So I
sure.
want to welcome everybody tonight. We are on Passive Lifting Up Education. And this has kind of been my forte. Once I saw it, I just loved it. I wish I had it while I was teaching in the professional world, but now we do have it. And so those of you who have come tonight, get your pens and paper out. We're going to show you a system, hopefully, that, yes, there's a lot of complexity in it, but Mr. Mufara and the team in Hyderabad and in Dubai, they are making such a complex system so simple that anybody can succeed. And we want to show you how it can succeed in your lives, because if you are a breathing human being, you're a teacher and you are vested in the education of your community, whether it be your family, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, or whatever. You have a vested interest in the education of the generations coming up, because they're the ones who are going to take care of us as we age in this journey of life. So we want to show you how you can take that education platform that's in your community now and just give it a lift. And that's what Mr. Mufara has provided for us. So I want to start with just a couple things. I want to read a couple quotes that I thought were perfect. I went online and I said, you know, what would be appropriate for all of On Passive that you're going to learn about tonight, and also about the vision of Mr. Mufara. And here's one quote. It was anonymous, but I thought it was great. Always look at the solution, not the problem. Mr. Mufara is always one to flip things upside down. And I thought that was so appropriate. Look at the solution and see where it can apply. Learn to focus on what will give results. And we have seen such results, folks, in the last few years, have we not? And then I love this one too, by Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn. No matter how brilliant your mind or strategy, if you are playing a solo game, you'll always lose out to the team. And boy, this could not happen without the brilliance of the team here that you see. Everything from the leadership council all the way to the folks who went out and went door to door, tete-a-tete, webinars, all kinds of energy, time. My hat's off to all of you. And then I want to give a special thanks to Bill Must, who just created another beautiful picture for the archives of Academy. I sent Marty, and Dan a message. Look, I'd like to do this. I'd like to show you folks what we've done in the Bahamas to help their educational milieu. And so I sent them, here's the theme: On Passive Lifting Up Education. And look what our master developer built. Is that a beautiful background or what? Thank you, Bill.
Sure is.
All right. So let me continue now with a short presentation. Please, if you're a guest, there's going to be a lot of information about what O-Founders is and what a founder what On Passive is and what an O-Founder founder is. The person who invited you will fill in those blanks. Tonight is just kind of an overview of how this magnificent system that has been developed can help. So without any more, I'm going to share my screen. And now when I do this magic thing here, I lose kind of all control. All right, everybody see that okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
All right, wonderful. Well, as an educator, I'm always teaching. So why did I choose that background? Well, there's a reason for it. And I went on bahamas.gov. And here's what it says about the colors of the flag. And I want to bring in my first, what if there was a system? Now, the black lettering is very, very important against the yellow, gold, and blue background. And here's what the government of the Bahamas says about their flag. The symbolism of the flag is as follows. Black is a strong color, and it represents the vigor and force of a united people. The yellow, gold, and the blue represent the natural resources of the sun and the sea. And that's what has built the Bahama people into the nation that they are. They were resourceful. They took these two magnificent resources and built a nation around it. So that's why we chose those colors. But now let me introduce to you, if there was a system that could help improve the in-class and the out-of-class lesson delivery, help improve classroom record keeping, help improve one-on-one student teaching strategies, help improve parent-teacher communication. There's a big one, folks. That's probably one of the biggest areas that I found so exciting about what you're going to see, because we've made it incredibly powerful to make those two connections. Another area, help improve that staff communication, peer-to-peer, teacher-to-teacher, department to department, staff to management. Providing multiple professional development resources. Every teacher has to go through this, just like nurses and doctors. We need to continue to find resources to help us to be better deliverers. Provide cross-cultural teaching experiences. We used to call it the old teacher swap. I was involved many years ago trying to go to New Zealand. I said, wow, wouldn't it be cool to teach there, learn that culture, and bring a teacher over to my school, and vice versa? Well, pretty expensive and pretty difficult. So now in today's world, we have a system that we can do that real time in a virtual world. May not be exactly perfect, but we can do so much now. How about provide additional credit assignments? I can remember we started these programs where high school students could start taking courses from colleges. Well, how about if your student could have a selection of colleges throughout the world, and just with a click of a button, contract and take courses any part of the world, any teacher that is in the platform. If you want to learn Spanish 101, you can get a Spanish teacher and get accredited so that when you leave high school, you've already got credits toward your college degree. How cool is that? And how about money? I hate to say it, but it's not the solution of everything, but boy, is it a powerful tool. And we're going to show you how you can provide continuous third-party funding for your district, your institution, or school. Think about that. Ongoing, continuous. And then for the teacher and for the parents, for the staff, for anyone involved in that community, that school community, we're going to show you a system that will provide two income sources. One, with online video tutorial services that can be contracted out, and two, ongoing commission-based sales when the company on passive sells those tools and services to each and every one of the people who come on board this system. So those are the 10 major areas that I thought, and a few others of us, when we collaborated, would be the way that we could present to the world and to your community, your school community, why they would want to look carefully at this system. It's an all-in-one educator's platform. So you're going to get a system where when you click open, you get all of what I just showed you and all of this. Comprehensive HR software, anything that you need for any kind of record keeping for your staff, your teachers, your students, your parents, whatever, right on one platform. Combined with curriculum development. You read it, go down the list, assignments, student progress, academic presentations, real-time interactive whiteboard. You can be teaching in class, videotaping, have your students who can't make it or they're on a bilateral selection or schedule, In other words, they go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, week 1. They go Tuesday, 30, week 2. Guess what? Now you could be teaching real time. They can interact with whiteboards. They can talk to their students. They'll never miss a beat. That's so cool. Cross-cultural teacher partnering. Wow, would it be cool to be able to do cross-culture teacher partnering? So, example, I'm teaching English, and a partner teacher over in the Bahamas is going to teach history. And so we can collaborate time and curriculums. Who wins? Everybody, especially your student. And then you see the rest, ongoing instructional video libraries. So that system, folk, is in place. It is being right now advertised all throughout the world, through social media, through ads in major cities. It is here and very close to becoming part of your system if you want it. And how is that? It's by the company On Passive. Founder and CEO Ash Mufareh came up with the idea of how could we collaborate systems to make the more perfect system. And what do I mean by that? How many stone wheel manufacturers do you see today? None. But we still have the wheel. How many jalopies, the old Model A's and the Model T's, how many of those do you see? Just a few, right, that have been restored? Most of us want a Maserati or whatever, or a nice comfort car. So you see, the system is in place, but it has to be modified and it has to be improved as time goes on. So Mr. Mufareh, he took a very close look at all of the systems that are working today in the AI, artificial intelligence, and IT, information technology world. And he created this company. That's what we are, an artificial intelligence, information technology tech company. And if you go to www.onpassive.com, you will learn about all of the tools that are being produced right now, and we have many, many more to come. Let me talk about just 4 of these tools that are going to help your educational community prosper, not only in mind setting, but in monetary help for your district. So let's go to the Academy. That's our education platform. And just a couple things, it will help that in-class and out-of-class delivery. No longer will students who can't make it to school miss out, because they'll be able to use Academy as a platform where the teachers and the administrators can put all kinds of video instructional material, and the student just has to go in, click, 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 and they're in. If they want to learn from other sources, that will be provided as well. And then how does that all connect for real time? Well, we have a webinar service called O Connect. Now, remember, we aren't the only show out there in the internet world. Lots of companies, but remember what we've done. We've taken the good, the bad, and the ugly. We really mixed it up and said, okay, what can we produce that will be what we feel the best, most efficient tools? O Connect with our webinar service definitely help that real-time one-on-one teaching strategy. And 2, again, most people don't realize how much it's needed to have that communication between the teacher and the parent and the student, real time. And we can do that now. Doesn't matter what time of day. So to eliminate the stress of all of what you're seeing is one of the big factors that Mr. Mufareh has always showed us. If we can provide teachers and parents and all the people involved stress relief, and they can gain time by all the different tools that will reduce input time, life gets better. So now I want to show you O Staff. This is probably, as according to some of those who know about HR platforms, we probably have one of the most efficient HR platforms going. One, it'll help improve your classroom record keeping. I've said it time and time again, a teacher is nothing but a manager. And a manager needs a tool to upload all of the grading, all of those portfolio works that we have to put together for students. All of that has to be in a very easily accessible place. And now we have it, folks. Help improve your staff communication off the same platform. Click button, okay? Just a click of a button, and all these different platforms come up. Peer-to-peer, department to department, staff to management, and then help improve all the necessary human resource record keeping. We got accounting, which will help with all of your invoicing, all of your payroll, you name it, O-Staff has it. That's why it's so powerful. And again, you can go to the onpassive.com and learn a lot more about it. Now, income. How is that going to happen? Now, when I bring this up, folks, I'm not going to go into depth. Please go back to the one who invited you, or we'll give you information. You can talk to me or one of the leaders that you see on the board. Become a founder. This is the key to making ongoing income 24/7. What'll happen is that you will partner with the company as a founder or reseller. Founders now, or after we launch to the world, a reseller. You'll get many of the same benefits. And what it's going to provide are those two incomes. One, by using the platform Academy, to where you can upload all of your video library material and contract to students anywhere in 200 countries around the world. So you could contract with somebody in India, Alaska, St. Kitts, wherever you want to, right on that one platform. So teachers, what a great way to take your expertise out of the classroom, and why not take it to the world? And then while that's going on, with nothing with your effort, the company will set you up with a web page and a domain name, and they will start selling OnPassive products. You'll start getting commissions. So it's almost like having a third-party retirement system. And for the school district, when we set this whole system up, and I'm going to show you exactly how it's going to work, the school system will start getting ongoing outside third-party funding 24/7. And now, I think this is probably the booster rocket in Mr. Mufara's mind for the world. Not only to the freedom of education for everyone that we can possibly reach, but also for any other type of blessings that you want to give to people. But let's stick with education. Suppose that you need $50,000 to get your students all the devices so this can happen. Well, OBless is an online crowdfunding program that is connected. Now listen to this, folks. Those of you who are new here, this is going to be powerful. We are connected with OBless with 1.3 million people around the world. Just shy of that. We'll reach it soon, I'm sure. But now think about the power of that. You need $50,000. We set up what we call a campaign. We set the project up. We put it up to OnPassive under the OBless campaign portfolio. And guess what? 1,300,000 people will start going through all of those campaigns. We, as founders who are connected with this, we can call out and say, look, we need $50,000. So with a click of a button, 50,000 founders can add $1 to that campaign wallet, and voila, your school has $50,000 almost instantaneously. Just let that soak in. So whenever there's a need, we have a platform, and all we have to do is just reach out, create the campaign, and watch the funds come. Excuse me. Now, this is what I want all you educators to look at, and all of you folks who've come on board who have school districts where you live. we came up with an idea, a few of us, when I was visiting in the Bahamas. We decided that there's got to be a way that we can help the educational system. I have 4 grandchildren there. I'm very vested in them, and I want them to have every opportunity to choose what education they want. They got great schools in the Bahamas. Some of the private schools there, they're incredible, but guess what? Very costly. All right. A lot of the circumstances in the last few years, and we'll get into that later, has really depleted a lot of the resources for many situations in the Bahamas. Education got hit huge, and then COVID came in, and that put another hammer on a lot of the resources. So what we did is we tried to collaborate. What solution is there that could solve that? And thank you, Mr. Mufara, we have the solution. So now we just had to focus on how it could work. So as of today, we have somewhere around 15, maybe 20 schools that I've and everything from daycares to a private college throughout 4 different islands in the Bahamas. So this is a system that's not a theory, it's working. And I know right now there's we just brought 2 more schools in the island of Eleuthera, and I think we're working with another school on Monday, and it's just ongoing. So once it starts, folks, it's just fun to watch. So here's the system. Very simple. 1, you find a key teacher, share the vision with them, and sponsor them as a key teacher. Show them how simple it is to become a founder, and then teach them the system. We're going to then have the teacher sponsor, or somebody else sponsor the school that teacher is teaching in. And then we start reaching out to the teachers, the staff, the parents, and friends of that educational community. And folks, once they see that there is hope and relief, it's not hard to get this thing working. And that's what we did. It's just been fun. And what does it do finally? Well, it's going to help generate monthly incomes for all of the parties. Think about that. Ongoing incomes as time moves forward and the company launches our products. And we are so close. So right now, we're just showing you how to reach out to your school community. Now, this is one elementary school on the island of New Providence in the city of Nassau, Bahamas. This is real, folks, and it's real to the number until I couldn't see how many more we're developing. So I taught elementary school. Sorry about that. So you're getting elementary pictures, but I think they're powerful. So we found a key teacher. I asked that key teacher, pick a school, and so she did. And we found another key teacher, and we sponsored the school. And then another teacher. We found some parents, we found some staff members, and it just kept going, and it kept going. And all of a sudden, we found a sponsor in the United States that said, yeah, I'll sponsor a school. Whoa. And we kept going. And we just kept, it took about 3 months, and we ended up with another school. And now we're still building. So folks, that's how it goes. And now this is real time, just to put the icing on the cake. So we took that primary school, and we found a gal who's on the panel right now. It took a while. It was just here, there, and here, there, and here, there. And then finally, one gal, she came in, she saw the fire, and she found another gal. And then all of a sudden, it just got uncontrollable. And you said, whoa, where did this go? And this is how it went for about 3 weeks. Then it slowed down. And, we got to about this point right there. And boom, then the system said, well, we can't show you anymore. But guess what? That was 66 people that became founders underneath that school. And I asked Darren Lloyd, who's on the panel, who really was the one who got this thing fired up. And he said right now we're somewhere between 95 founding positions feeding school systems throughout 4 islands in the Bahamas. Is that cool or what? Yep. So we know it works, folks. We just are so excited to share it with you. Multiple islands now, 4 islands, and I'm sure we'll reach more. The Bahamians can tell you we're down St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, all over the place. But it's just fun. So there it is. I'll leave it up there for a few seconds to sponsor a teacher, show them the vision, and then you don't have to have the teacher sponsor the school. We've got people on the panel who have no connection at all to this, except for their desire to invest in people. And what better place to invest in is in the children of our next generation. So, a lot of us here on the panel have done that, and we've taken that desire. So think of this little nation, just like Papua New Guinea, a little nation who catches the fire, found a system, and we just provided now the solution on how that system can work. So folks, that's all I got. I really appreciate your time. So right now, Marty will open it up to the panel. And those of you, if you want to raise your hand, yeah, hands off to the Bahamas. So, and we've got folks here on the panel. As you're thinking about questions about this, I just want to introduce you to some of the folks. That one teacher that we found another very wonderful person, Miss Kizzy is on, and she found Chantel, and the two of them said, wow, if this will work, what can we lose? And so congratulations to you. That's what happened in that little school district in Nassau. But then we have Dorothy Cooper. She's helped sponsor, is it a daycare, Dorothy? Yeah, a daycare. And then Jana and her husband, Eden, who are, just huge leaders down in the Bahamas. They showed me a high school, or I think it's complete school, right?
Yeah, there's 3 schools. I actually sponsored one more today.
Oh,
Yeah, so
awesome.
there's
Good job.
3 now that I know of in Grand Bahama,
Wow. Yeah, and we got daycare.
and a couple daycares. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go over to Abaco, Mrs. Higgs there, and we've got action going there. And then Raphael, he's here tonight. We had a wonderful meeting with a assistant superintendent, and out of that we have 2 schools now that I don't even think the schools know yet, but they've got sponsors. So that's how it goes. So folks, I'm going to stop talking and raise your hands if you'd like some questions answered. And any of the panelists who want to come on, I'd love to hear from Kizzy and Chantel, what it meant for you when you saw this. And Chantel has an interesting story, but I'll just let her go out. But Kizzy, would you want to just introduce what made you decide that this was really something that was worthwhile for you to get involved in?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So in years to come, when I tell my story about how I am a successful educator and entrepreneur, I will say that my life changed on January 21st, 2022, because that is when I made the decision to become a founder of Unpassive. I was first introduced to this awesome company by one of my very, very dear friends, Miss Tiffany Burrell Roberts. I hope she's on the call. I don't know. And she said, Kizzy, I know this is perfect for you because I am a teacher by profession, but I am an entrepreneur by heart. And so for me, well, everyone who's on this call, who's an educator, knows that teaching is definitely a calling, and that we don't do it for the money, but we do it for the love of our children and the love of teaching. And so we always, as educators, have to supplement our salaries because we want to be, especially if you have a family, you want to make sure that your children are comfortable, your home is comfortable, your family in its entirety is comfortable. And so she said, Kizzy, I found a perfect fit for you because I am also a tutor. I teach English language and English literature. And so when I joined the meeting, I actually was on a meeting before Tiffany invited me, but I didn't stay on for too long. And when I joined it, I listened carefully and I saw value and I saw that this, in so many ways, can assist persons like myself, principals, teachers, administrators, in helping to make education a much smoother process in the Bahamas, because we all know in March when the pandemic hit, we knew about Zoom, but we didn't use it so much per se because we were regular face to face. And then so everyone was up in arms about how are we going to reach our students. So we started to use Zoom. Then I think we got a program from another company called the LMS, and a lot of teachers had challenges getting on the LMS as well as students. And so we weren't reaching many of our students. And so we had to do what teachers do best because we are resourceful. We went to Google Classroom, we use Zoom, we use LMS, we use WhatsApp, whatever it was. Um, we made it happen because, teachers, we are the professions of professions. And so I discovered on Passive, and I saw that it was an awesome platform because it has an amazing blend of e-learning. It has technology which can enhance your skills. And what got me was that a lot of times the teachers are so filled with amazing ideas, lesson planning, videos, teaching strategies, and I saw this as a perfect fit for lots of teachers in the Bahamas, where they can actually reach persons in other parts of the world, because we all know when you're teaching students, the best way I should say for them to learn is by experience. If they don't have the experience, they can't identify with a lot of things we want them to learn. And so this platform is going to allow teachers to bring that experience to many teachers and other children around the world, because we have amazing cultures like Junkanoo. We have our amazing food like conch. We have our amazing switcher. A lot of things a lot of persons do not know about the Bahamas. They can learn it through this medium, through this platform, and I'm so excited to have this because my ideas are running. You can upload videos, you can upload teaching lesson plans, all of that, and you can you can have the world at your fingertips. And so I love Academy. I know Darren said this may be one of the first products that On Passive is going to launch, and I'm so excited. I'm excited to be a part of the movement. I'm excited to be a part of the vision. And when I saw this immediately, because she is my mentor, I said this would be perfect for her. Now, I approached it from the aspect of being a teacher, but because she has her fingertips on so many things, she has a pulse. Everything she sees, whatever she sees that has value, she's going to go after it with 100%. And so I introduced on Passive to Chantel, and because she was really focused on another initiative, I know she didn't really she said, Kizzy, just sign me up. She didn't even know what it was. She didn't come to a meeting. She just signed me up. And I did that. And she said, now, Kizzy, tell me what it's about. And I could have only told her from my aspect, the teaching aspect. And so she came on a meeting. And when she saw this, she said, Kizzy, you don't know what you have, girl. You don't know what you found. But honey, this is how she is. I am going to tell everybody it's only $97, Kizzy, and they're going to come in it regardless of what. And she just went on, and she continues to be on fire. And I appreciate her so much. Her name is Chantel Barron. She's my mentor. And it's because of her that I keep going, because she always keeps your foot to the fire. And this is my opportunity now to introduce her to you. Chantel Varens, an amazing entrepreneur. I present to you Chantel Varens.
Oh man, she wants to make me cry, y'all. I'm literally holding back my tears. Kizzy, thank you so much. If it had not been for your yes, I would not be here. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Ash Barra, Thank you so much to all the panelists. Oh my God. I am bursting with excitement. Why? Because one yes is going to transform a country, a nation, people, one family at a time. And I want you to know from the depths of my heart, the minute I saw this, I saw the children. It was the children first because I have 3 of my own. My son is 22. I have a 13-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old daughter. And I know that many of them are not in fortunate positions on the outside that may be in the private schools who would have had to transition from the private to the public. And I said, oh my God, when I spoke to Darrell and he said, imagine each founder giving $1. It was over. And I want you to know, sometimes we don't know what it is that we have in our hand. And I remember when Moses was asked, what is it that you have in your hand? Well, we have on passive, y'all, and we are about to transform the world, one family at a time. I want to say real quickly, when it comes to value, when it comes to impartation, when it comes to impacting and empowering lives, I'm not a secret agent. So immediately I saw this, I picked the phone up and I called and I said, listen, I'm sending you my link. You need to go and sign up for this thing. It's only $100. Have $105 on your card and you need to get in. There was no trying to figure it out. Why? We throw away $20, $10, $100. One event can be $200. I don't want to talk about the hairstyle for women and the bags and the shoes. We throw away money all the time. This little piece of hairstyle was $120. That's not the little pieces that I paid $30 for, y'all. And I told my people, I will be the Esther if I have to be, because my people are gonna be set free. And I'm partnering with each and every one of you because I want you to know that we do not take this thing for a joke. It was almost 3 weeks when I sat on this, and one day I was like, oh my God, what is this on passive thing? The world needs to know about it. So I want to say to each and every one of you that are listening around the world, you may not have positioned yourself just yet. You may not have seen value just yet. Figure it out after the fact. You have a small window, maybe just a few hours, a few days left. Do not allow something that can transform your life for the rest of your life, your family's life, to be separated by $100. The world is your marketplace. My girlfriend that is on the call, who has no choices when it comes to these type of stuff, she said, oh my goodness, the principal from the deaf center is on the call. My emotions started to get on me. You know why? Each one can reach one. We're no longer going to be secret agents, y'all. Mr. Mufara has done an amazing job on the entire team. It's now our children needs us. Let's save them. God bless you all.
Drop the mic, Chantel. Awesome. That was, yep.
Show's over, folks. Go
Oh, I agree. Chantel and Kizzy, you got us all on fire all over again.
Yeah. Now, folks, if you've never heard of On Passive, what you've heard was, $97 is how you can position yourself. Please get back to the person who invited you. They'll give you full details. So I never know where it's going to go, but Chantel and Kizzy, those two testimonies right there, I believe is enough for the world to know that you can change your community with one push of a button. And you've done it. And I appreciate y'all. Janet, where do we go from here? I mean, do we have some
So-
questions from the,
Sure, yeah, we can definitely look and see who else wants to come in. There's a few hands that are raised. I can go ahead and see if they'd like to come on in. If anyone else who's currently on the panel would like to come on in or put your hand up, then there we go. I've got a few more here. While folks are coming in, I do want to, just do like a little recap here. We've shown you a model. We have taken on Passive, which is this amazing AI IT tech company that has solutions to provide the world to make many different aspects of everybody's lives better. Get on passive.com is where you want to go and you want to check it out. And we've shown you a way that as a founder, you're going to be able to earn an income. And anyone who wants to know more about it or get back to someone, they can definitely invite you to become a founder. The window is closing. But as you can see, we've taken that and we've decided to give organizations, especially the educational world, the opportunity to become a founder. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Janet. I just have a couple of little things to say very, very quickly. I know educating, it is a calling, and most teachers love the kids that they're teaching. But my focus with On Passive is the business side. And although you love educating, in the back of your mind, there's always that financial need that I don't think education really takes care of. I don't think you all are paid nearly enough. And when you look at On Passive and Academy and what it's going to do to help you educate your not only the kids, but stay in touch with the parents, I think it's awesome. But when we look at the financial side, I want you to get to a place very, very quickly where finances are not an issue. In other words, you can teach, you can fall in love with your kids, you can teach them, and you don't have to worry about finances. So I want to add just a couple of things on the financial side. I looked at Daryl's presentation. It was absolutely awesome. And he talked about how this is going to be structured. But I want people to understand that as you come in and become a founding member and you get to use the tools of On Passive Academy, it doesn't matter what you do. Ash Mufarah has set it up in a way, he's structured it in a way that it doesn't matter what you do. You will get to that place where you won't worry about finances. When we think about On Passive, we believe that we'll bring in at least 100 million customers the first year. Those customers are put in the founder's organization that builds that residual income. And over time, if you're teaching and you love teaching, and finances has been a worry from time to time, as we all have it, you'll get to a place where you won't have to worry about finances because of the way On Passive is structured, because of the way these individuals, these customers fall in your organization and build an income, build a residual income, and over time will build wealth. And this isn't going to take the 40 years that you spend educating children or young adults, whoever it is. This isn't going to take that long. This is going to take a few years, and you'll get to that place where you won't worry about finances. So I think, Daryl, your presentation was absolutely awesome. I think this presentation is going to be seen by tens of thousands of people. And I want them to understand that as you come into On Passive, it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to be forced to be successful. You're going to be forced to get to that place where you don't worry about finances because of what Ash has done, because of how On Passive is structured. So I just wanted to add that very, very quickly, Janet. Y'all are in a great place. I love what you and Daryl are doing. And yeah, I've learned a lot today. Like I say, I focus on the business side of On Passive, but Academy, it really is the bomb. Go ahead, Janet.
Great. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, appreciate that. Dan, you want to go ahead and unmute? We'd love to hear from you too.
Wow. Unbelievable presentation, Daryl. And oh my gosh, thank you for Chantel and Miss Kissy and everyone on the panel for an amazing presentation. You know, it's, we all know that the educational platform that On Passive has and what you've put together, you deserve so much credit, because it's going to have an unbelievable impact on education of, number one, our children, and number two, anyone that wants to learn anything or further their education. And that includes you and I. I mean, I've got so much to learn. I'm sitting here thinking, gosh, I have so much to learn. I'm excited about learning. So the fact that you've been able to sponsor people in the Bahamas and develop this successful system, and to reach key people in education who can make a difference in taking education to the next level, that is just absolutely amazing to me. I'm just in awe of all this. So congratulations to all of you. And the fact that OnPassive is such a huge part of moving this system and your system forward is just very, very exciting. And my prayer is that this system goes viral all over the world. And I believe it will. So one of the questions I have, I know that you guys were interested in maybe having a couple of questions, but I have a question on, let's say the government didn't want to switch over to the OnPassive tools in the Bahamas. Are you prepared to introduce the reseller option to them? Have you presented that to them? And how is that part of this program? Can you tell me what's going on as far as that goes? Because the founder position is going to end relatively soon, so that kicks in the reseller option. And I just wonder how that's being presented in the Bahamas.
Well, we had a real life experience with that, Dan. And I have a letter that Rafi and I put together for the assistant superintendent over in Eleuthera. And if anybody wants, how does that work? Well, anyways, I do have a letter here. And in that letter, one of his concerns was he mentioned all of those tools that Kizzy said that the school districts already have. Now, you got to remember, the governments have put a lot of money to help those systems get out and to work. But what a lot of educators don't realize, in the administrators, is, like Janet has taught us, they're stacking all these tools and trying to make them all blend and work, where OnPassive has taken it into one system. So in my letter, I explained to him, you don't have to use the tools to prosper. Go ahead and continue to use your platforms until you learn just how much better what you have already in the district sitting there waiting for you. Why would you pay thousands a year when you don't have to pay for anything? Because the schools are going to be taken care of. So why would an administrator not pursue a free platform, which is far better, which we believe time will tell, but why would they not? So I think, Dan, the answer to the question is, organically, now that the school system has it in place, eventually the teachers are going to say, wait a second, I'm doing this on the side. It's so much easier. They're going to be knocking on the superintendent's door and they're going to say, throw out that junk you bought. We want to use OnPassive.
Exactly. And you know what else, Daryl? Just the O-Staff tool. Being able to simplify the way that teachers are entering information, teachers that have children that are on special goals and they're tracking their performances on different in different ways. The way that companies are tracking employees' goals and tracking their performance and setting up all those metrics and milestones that they have to achieve. The teachers and the administration are going to have the visibility by using that O-Staff tool to just seamlessly be able to see how the kids are performing, where they're falling low. And many schools today do not, the tools that they're currently using don't give them that visibility. So with the OnPassive's AI software and machine learning and being able to integrate everything into one seamless platform and to show the results by a click of a button to parents, or for department heads within the schools to be able to have the visibility to see that. Teachers are not going to be up countless of hours at night trying to get all of this paperwork done. We have to start utilizing our teachers where their tens are, and that is reaching the children and making the children, all their energy towards the children, not having them sitting there being administrators pushing pencils day in and day out. So that is what the system is going to do to upgrade that process. I see Sandra, you have your hand up. Go ahead and unmute.
Yes, hi everyone. Thanks, Dar, for organizing this platform. How do you sponsor a school? Do you just buy a position for the school, for the whole school?
What a great question. We've done it a couple ways, Sandra. Now, the preferred is to find that key teacher and then have the key teacher sponsor the school, either by finding someone else who has the resources because money is tight, or if the teacher has it, the teacher can sponsor the school. And we have done it both ways. As a matter of fact, if I could use this time, Ken Parslow and Bob Pierce, Raphael, where is he? Alan Hinkle. Now, Rafi has a vested interest because he lives in Eleuthera. These other gentlemen live in the United States, have no other interest vested other than they want to invest in the Bahamas because there's a need there. And so they stepped out and they sponsored the school under the teacher. So there's two ways. We prefer to have the key teacher and then the key teacher go ahead and sponsor the school. So now there's a tie. There's that vested interest. And then we sponsor all the rest of the people within that school community through the school. Did that help?
Yes, thanks. Another question too, what is the whiteboard?
Anybody want to take that? Who's familiar with it? Anybody using that system on other platforms?
Sure. Whiteboard is just like, for instance, on this platform here, you know how Darryl shared his screen and he was able to show a presentation. Well, there's a feature in this platform as well as in O Connect, which is going to be simpler to use, whereby the screen will just go to a blank page, like a chalkboard type image, and you will be able to just write. And anyone who is logged into the platform will be able to see what you're writing. So you're going to pretend like it's a virtual chalkboard. You can then from there give permissions to other attendees or people that are in the platform, whereby they can now you give them permission to use the tool, and then they can then write next to you. So for instance, a teacher can go ahead and write a problem on it. Let's say 2 + 2, and then say, okay, Jeffrey, I'm giving, your turn, you go ahead and answer it. And then Jeffrey can now go and write on the whiteboard.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Do you have any other questions for us, Sandra?
No, thanks so much for organizing this teacher training.
You're very welcome. Ken, over to you. You want to unmute?
Yeah, thank you for a couple of minutes here. And, it's a pleasure to be able to have the ability to sponsor a school in the Bahamas. Daryl was talking with myself and with Bob and Alan and talking to us about the need that there is down there. And, it would be awesome if we could find a Miss Kizzy and Chantel here someplace in the United States. I'm not sure they exist, but, I wouldn't want to sponsor them because I don't have energy enough. But it's interesting because their care is for the children. And, I don't know what's going on in the Bahamas with the educational system and the teaching or the curriculum that they're writing, but I know here in the United States, they're doing a great job of changing the curriculum over and changing history and a lot of those things that don't fit the narrative of their direction in life. And it's sad to see, because kids that go to school today here in America don't hear the truth. They don't hear what happened back, 100, 200 years ago in our history. And I see this platform as a way that parents can go choose, those that choose to, that don't send their kids to public schools, they can choose the curriculum that they want, and they can have curriculum. Academy can get curriculum up there that tells the truth, so that they can know where things really happen and how things really happen, because it changes the worldview of an individual when they actually know the truth. And I believe that's why they do what they do in the educational system. And I do know that Mr. Mufara is into truth. I mean, everything he says, he tells the truth. And so at least he's proven that way to us so far. And so I see down the road. And another thing he has said on the webinars is the fact that, a lot of kids, when they get older, out of the elementary grades and move on up, that they're forced to do and learn things that have no interest to them. They don't want to learn it. I learned stuff in school that I've never even thought about since. So you're going to be able to pick curriculum for your kids where they can go in the direction that they are encouraged in. They can learn the things that they really want to learn, and they can become somebody, or they can become learned in an area that interests them, so that they can move forward in life, rather than wasting a whole bunch of their time in their life on stuff that they, number one, don't like, number two, they're never going to use again. So it's very encouraging to see what's coming. And I just pray that goes in that direction, that it becomes even bigger than what we're anticipating right now. So thank you.
You're absolutely right, Ken. And I'll give you an example here. The school that my daughter's in, great school, learning a lot of different things, but the school doesn't have right now, due to the pandemic, etc., the school doesn't have its art program anymore. And my daughter has a keen interest in art. She's massively creative. And right now I don't have a way to foster that. I don't have a resource. So I'm so excited for when Academy comes out, that I can find those additional tools to help foster that. So that's another point, because not every school has the resources to create that full gamut and provide, everything that you need. Go ahead, Bob. We'd love to hear from you.
Just quickly, I was assistant superintendent of school for 30 some years. And my job was in the non-instructional area. I had to take care of all the non-instructional services that the teachers and staff needed: busing, cafeteria, maintenance, custodial, accounting, collecting taxes, all that kind of stuff. And it was a nightmare. I was dealing with $100 million budget, so it was a big operation. And it was a nightmare because we had dozens of different companies and platforms and computer programs and you name it. And this is OnPassive is the dream of a school administrator like myself. Forget the teaching part, which I understand is great, because I always felt my job was to make the atmosphere for teachers the best and give them the best tools possible, because that would translate into the best student outcomes. And I would have loved to have been starting my career having OnPassive in my back pocket. It would have been a dream. So I won't say any more, but that's where I'm at.
Great. Naja, you have your hand up. We'd love to hear from you too. I hope I said that right. You can go ahead and unmute.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I'm Naga, actually Naga Ravi Krishna. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Dr. Daryl, sir. Your presentation is massive. I'm very happy to hear from you. I have a few questions, but if it is silly questions, please never mind me. Sir, what is the name of school in Bahama?
You're muted, Daryl.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if it's appropriate to give the actual name of the school. um, publicly. So if I could just keep that, we could have a private discussion, but I think it's best to keep the identity private for right now.
Yes,
If
sir.
that's okay. But just to help you understand, we do have, I think just about every school level from pre-K right up through, we have one private college that actually has a founding position. So we've really met the needs, at least a start.
And we have a sports club as well too. So
Oh,
we're not just doing sorry, we're not just doing the educational, but we've also found a sports team that are doing really great work with some young boys, and they have a founder's position too.
Yeah, I don't know if they're in the gallery. If anybody can see that, we could bring them on if they want to share. So Evadne, if you're out there, you and Gary, just raise your hand and we'll try to find you. I'd love to hear from you. What great success. Sorry, go ahead, Naga.
Yeah, sir. Is it connected with unpassive? Is it for unpassive academy?
Academy is a tool that OnPassive has built. It's a proprietary platform, and it's where any teacher or anybody can put an educational video onto that platform, and then you can set up a contract between anybody in 200 countries who wants to purchase your educational video instruction. You can either do it for free or you can charge for it.
Excuse me, sir. What I want to ask actually, that Bahama school is for unpassive?
Oh, no. It's a public school, actually. It's a public primary school. And what we did is we purchased an OnPassive founding position for that school. So the company OnPassive will build that school district a website and a domain name and start selling tools of OnPassive. And then when that particular school gets a sale, they'll get a commission. And over time, we believe that will be almost a daily resource of income.
And that income is so that the school has funding to ensure that they continue to provide resources for the students, as well as, for the upkeep of the school. They determine how they're going to use those funds to support the school.
And just one further explanation, they right now have 66 customers because every founder becomes a customer. So they're going to have, from day one, they're going to have incomes from 66 customers. Kudos.
So
Daryl, Evadne is not in. She is actually going to be watching the recording a bit later. She's at a function today.
Okay, thanks. Networking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Daryl, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, great.
Thank you for coming, Naga. Next, we have Della. Della, would you like to go ahead and unmute?
Oh, hi. Hello. Can you hear me, Janet?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you. I have a question. Have you heard about School for Tomorrow?
I can't say I have.
Okay, so have you heard about PACE?
PACE. Yes, PACE. I've heard about PACE.
Oh, yeah. This is a great school that I don't know. I want you to connect to them because this school is good for special kids. I mean, amazing kids, because this is for, amazing kids, special kids that I call amazing kids, is intelligent. They're so advanced. and this space, they need space. All my children were homeschooled when I was in the Philippines, because I've learned that they're so intelligent and they're bored in the system, in the school. So I enrolled them in School for Tomorrow. This is a global international, and I wanted to connect to them so they can, because this school is expensive, but it's okay, because on passive it can really help the financial. And I love your passion about education, because the pace, the children this time are very intelligent, and they don't need the books. They need pace, because if they
Right.
have the talents, and the intelligence and skills, school, they get bored in the school system. I will, the website, Janet. I wanted to connect to them.
So this recording is going to be available, and one of the reasons why we've put this out here globally is so that everyone who's watching here today can definitely go and reach out to any school, any educator. This recording should help, and to show the light that that yes, absolutely, any entity can come on board and get a founding position, or once the founder's position is closed, they can get a reseller's position to secure ongoing income.
Okay, so let me understand it. So any schools, any teachers can join on passive without jumping or joining in your Bahamas.
Oh, absolutely. We're here, exactly. We're here just to highlight what we've been doing here in the Bahamas by getting positions for schools, because we want to ensure that schools have ongoing funding. One of the things also that we're trying to encourage schools to have founding positions is because they can now also become a network in Oblast. And so there's 3 ways that schools are going to be able to financially have funding. One is by having the founder's position. When products are sold by OnPassive, they're going to earn a commission from those sales. The second one is teachers can record their lessons, and they can post those lessons within Academy, and they can earn additional income by people signing up for those courses. And then the third way is being within OnPassive, you now have access to Oblast. So if you have a special project or anything that you're putting out there that you want additional funding for, you have access to over 1.3 million founders that can now donate to your project, whatever you're doing. So this is, this isn't just for the Bahamas. This is a model that we just chose to, we just saw an opportunity, and we started doing it in the Bahamas, and it's been catching on. We've got 15 to 20 schools that are now that have founding positions, and multiples of teachers who also now have founding positions. And we just wanted to ensure that that children were going to benefit from the apples of OnPassive.
Oh, thank you. Now I understand. So you have given me the idea that I can connect to School for Tomorrow to use the academy. Oh, thank you, because School for Tomorrow is for the brilliant kids, and I want the school to be Okay, thank you so much for this.
The other beauty is that in a short period of time, when schools now have a consistent income coming in, the schools can have like a little subcommittee and create scholarships. And with the amount of funding that they're going to be getting from OnPassive, they can now reach out to the community and, offer 5 scholarships every year because they've got funding coming in. Eventually that'll grow to 10 scholarships a year. It also creates where you can put campaigns together on Obless for schools to have scholarships. So there's many different ways that this is going to benefit. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you, Janet. Daryl Cook. Number one, thank you for opening up my ears to a brand new way to do an impassive webinar. Totally blown away. Miss Chantel, Miss Kizzy, hey, we have a lot of excitement, but we need more exciting people. Chantel, I think I'm giving you my job because you got me really fired up. I appreciate that. But yeah, growing up as a kid, we had, the millages came around and where I lived, and we actually had to pay to play sports. I think if I remember, football was, you had to pay $300 if you wanted your kid to play football. All right. A lot of parents didn't have that extra $300. So believe it or not, a lot of talent was lost because of millages and when there was no money coming in, and parents just couldn't scrape up $300 to watch their kid play, which broke my heart because luckily my parents had a few extra bucks on the side and I played and I was absolutely horrible, but I had some kids that were phenomenal that I knew were just going to be, great sportsters. And they didn't get that opportunity because of millages, no funding. So I'm absolutely loving this idea. And I can also see this idea going to every single educator in the world, not only just for schools, but, disabled, YMCA, any foundation that's out there that's always looking for help for funding, which is an amazing thing. So I'm loving this platform. One thing that I will say this, and hear me out, don't anyone get mad at me. Now, every year they advertise for, they give Black America 1 month for their history. I would love to see, and I say this because I had a really good conversation with a gentleman from the Philippines last night. He was telling me the history of Philippines and how it connected to everything. I think Academy is going to be also that a platform so people of different cultures, different colors can give out their real history and get it put in the history books where it should have been in the first place. So I'm really excited about that. I never believed in giving someone a month. Now that's not fair. I could sit there and think about many, many people who weren't white or American that did some pretty darn amazing things that went throughout the world and helped a lot of people out. So Daryl, Janet, absolutely love this. You got me. Listen, it takes a lot for me to get fired up because I'm already way up there, but you guys did it today. And like I said, I hope people are watching this and all you educators out there. I've been trying to tell you, this is it. These guys just showed you how you can help your schools. Please get back to these guys. They're the ones that are doing this. Get back to any one of these beautiful educators on here and let them teach you how to do this because it's real easy to do. And you get to help out every kid in the world. Daryl, Janet, thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on, and thank you for spreading the word. Julie, number one, I think my voice was saved through your wonderful turmeric and lemon and honey, and just blend that up with ginger, and boom, here I am. So, but you were, a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, folks, but between Marty and Julie, they've just done it all for us. And just want to give a shout out for you as well, Julie, for my thanks to you for helping this come to fruition.
Thank you so much, Daryl. You're so kind to me. I appreciate it. I'm glad that your voice is better. So if anyone's that have problem with, cough and all that stuff, get back with Daryl. He would share that with you. Awesome job, Daryl and Janet and other educators here. I truly enjoy this very much. And I see that what you're doing here will help not only in Bahamas, is going to be helping everyone who knows a teachers, and I'm very sure every single one of us know a teacher or two. And especially here in the US, I have a feeling that education is a core to everything. You've educate a kid when they're little, you have a better adulthood. You know, you actually, that's my degree. And I have a feeling that, gosh, it's actually not a feeling, it's a true. I'm saying this, and I don't mean to put anyone educators down, but I feel like the educational part in the US here is more of a robotic, more of teaching them to just go here. But it did not help the kids to be innovative, to, you know, to be creative. It's like you do this and you do this and you do this. And I'm so glad that Academy is something that is going to lead the way in education. And I'm looking forward to literally, you know, getting my kids out and focusing on, because there are very creative kids, and I just can't see them being, you know, molded into something that is going on right now. But I do know that there are so many professors and educators out there that have such a passion to grow these kids into the future of the country or of the community. So I'm really applauding you, and kudos to every one of you that doing this. I have a little suggestion, Daryl, and then Janet and everyone here. If you could please take your presentation, if you could record your presentation in like a 5 or 10 or 15, however that fit, to help the founders to take your recording, your presentation, to share it to the teachers. Sometimes it's a lot of people know what they wanted to do, know what they want to share, but the communication, the sharing of what they're sharing, it's not really go toward what they wanted to do. So I ask if you could take that presentation and maybe record it, put it together, and give it to us. We can put it out on YouTube, or it's even more helpful if you could, because we do send the email out a lot. So you know how Michael William has a message there? If you could please help us do a message to where the founders can literally take that and put their name and their link and all of that and be able to share it to other people. And I think if we have something that's ready to go for our founders, it would be very helpful for them just to take it and share that message. And I believe your presentation does bring a lot of value to the educators who probably don't need to understand about unpassive, but needs to know that there are things that can help them to share their passion, to teach the world, and also to be able to make money at the same time. And I truly, appreciate what you're bringing on the table here. And I believe all of our founders should take what you have and share it out. I think it's going to be really big, and it's going to be helping a lot of kids, our grandkids, our kids that are not born yet. But if we all can go that way, I believe we can have some amazing kids growing, going in the future. Thanks so much for letting me talk.
Hey, thanks. And I have a solution for that. I already did an MP4 that I shared before we did this. This was a collaboration. It wasn't my thinking. We had, many of the leaders that you see here. I did a presentation, sent it out. They gave me ideas. Thanks to Bob Pierce, there was a lot of things that I didn't think of. But when you get educators, I think it should go this way. They think it should go this way, but we all have the same goal. We want the best delivery. So once my voice gets a little better, all I have to do is a voiceover on that, and I'll get it to you. And then the other thing, you're absolutely correct about the educational system. Every educator, like Kizzy said, we just want to teach and we want to deliver, but the systems are getting so difficult. I used to do film study, and I would work with the business educator, the business teacher, and we collaborated. And when our students went out it was a 12th grade study, when they went out from there, they knew how to do all kinds of business communications. They knew how to do video and newspaper advertising. They knew how to hire and fire. And their final project was to create a product, develop a business model, and execute it. And that was their presentation. That ran about 4 years. And 1 year, the New York State Department of Education says, sorry, everybody's got to take the Regents. Boom, out went that whole program, just like that. So, I understand, and it's so difficult because they've taken away our desire to be
All right.
educators. So, Arthur, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, that's okay. I'm excited about being here. Thank you, Daryl, Janet, and Kizzy, and I can't think all of these names. Chantel, also Julie. I'm impressed about this model of Academy, and also Chris Johnson. I missed the educational part of the Old Bless that you all were implementing in on passive. But I'd like to speak to the world about this I don't know what concept, the model that we are sending to the world. We have our one platform with everything we need and the world needs, educational, business, you name it. We have it all here, right in on passive. We are a model, just like I will give you an example of a franchise. And what these two, Oblast and Academy, is building a model that we can spread out to the world, and it will be in one, it will be set up one way. So somebody don't start doing something different, because on passive, name is on the line. Our company is on the line. So I love the way you are starting out with this Academy, with this model, to see where it works, testing it. And then once that works, then we can carry it forward from all over the world. And I appreciate everything that everybody is doing here. All of the panelists, everybody's associated with whatever part that you're playing in this whole revolutionary movement model, and Mr. Ash Mafari, which is the CEO and the visionary that started this whole process to help the world along with humanity. And just to let people know, if you don't learn anything until you take time to learn. Most people hear things, but they don't take the initiative to even try and look at something. They always, in other words, what they're doing is, oh, that doesn't work, this doesn't work, or it doesn't make sense. We don't know. If you don't put your foot in the water, you don't know whether it's hot or cold. But the thing is, I love what we are doing, and I'm a proud founder, and I'm proud to be a part of this massive history-making process. We are the leaders and the mother of all businesses. So we are setting the pace, we're setting examples, we are stepping out on faith and trust, because that's what it takes, trust. We had to trust Mr. Ash Mafari. We had to trust his vision, and his vision became our vision. And this Academy, it's gonna be viral. Oblast is gonna be viral. Everything we do is by design. We make sure it's gonna work before we take it to the rest of the world. And we are setting the right example to be the only artificial intelligence, informational technology company in the world. And I want to thank you all for listening. Just wanted to add that to some of the comments that were made.
Well, thank you so much. And well, didn't mean that to go off. I just want to make sure we ran over the hour. I didn't know how far it was going to go, but Marty, do we still have time for? We got like 4 hands up.
You got all the time you need. You got till midnight. That's when Papua New Guinea is.
Well, let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, many of you do have jobs tomorrow, and I want you to know that this is being recorded. If you need to go, that's great. Love to have you stay on. I want to answer, every question that's asked, and I just want to thank you all for being here. And Marion Dawson, I see your hand is up. You have the mic.
Well, hello. I will not be able to turn my video on, however, because we are in a big storm here in Kansas. And if I want to stay connected to you, the fallacies of Zoom will cause me to leave very quickly. I am a teacher. I teach special ed. I've taught for 36 years now. Yes, I'm old. But I have taught online for the last 5 years. Prior to COVID, I taught online for ESL in China through a company called VIP Kid, which is essentially defunct at this point since China does not allow American educators to come in and teach, and they've changed everything for the double two policy. But I do still teach children in China through their parents and VPN. And I thought I would like to share that one of my students was in Dubai with her family when we had this big grand unveiling and the water show. And one of her pictures that she sent me actually had On Passive in the background. It was pretty impressive to me, and I was thrilled to death to see it. As a teacher, I understand the problems that the educational system has, believe me, Zoom being one of them. I use several platforms to teach my students online, and will I ever be glad to have one platform that will do everything I need, because I am tired of learning new platforms. But I also teach children with special needs, and I see using my position to bring in their families and help support them, because many of the students I teach are on state assistance. Their families cannot work because they are caring for their children with significant to profound developmental disabilities. I would love to be able to help them pay their bills and buy the wheelchair that they need without having to wait for the 5th year for the wheelchair to come in from the state. I see being able to do good things for these families. My job mostly, while I teach my students to become as independent as they can, a large part of my job is teaching their families how to best support their children. And I see being able to do some very amazing things with Academy, and I'm excited beyond belief. So there's my spiel.
Well, you know what, Marion, I just had a thought. Excellent, because what you can do is take this model, find other special ed teachers like yourself, show them On Passive, and then show them how they can sponsor a parent who has a disabled child. It's the same system. Just a
yes, and I have been trying that because I have been in this for a while. I bought the picture a long time ago, but you also have to realize that teachers are being hit with everything under the sun, asking for our money, asking for us to believe in new things that are going to hopefully fix us and fix the system. And as you know, teachers are leaving the field in droves because of all of these pressures. And right now, when I ask people about this, despite my enthusiasm, they say, well, let's see it working first. But I can see it working first. And now I'm going to be able to bring them in.
That's right. And that's exactly what Rafi and I told the superintendent. You don't have to come in right now. You can wait. The reseller position will be there. So kudos to you.
Daryl,
thank you.
You're echoing, Daryl.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
Okay, just so you do.
Maybe
Daryl, that's probably because Marion was unmuted. That usually causes that. So if she mutes, let's see what it sounds like.
Oh, okay. That better? Okay, great. Bruce, how are you tonight? Thank you for coming on.
I'm fantastic, Daryl. How are you? Your voice held up very well, by the way. So thank you, Julie, for giving him a remedy. I also want to, first of all, give a big shout out to Chantel, who I've known for a long time. And Chris, she is quite a dynamo, and she will give you a run for your money because she is a non-stop worker. And I'm very proud to see her here. Zero, your presentation was so perfect because you gave it like a teacher would teach students for us to find out how to say this. And it was so simple. And you also showed the integration of on-passive. Marty always talks about it, and Mike does, and everybody that talks about the integration of the products of on-passive. And he put that so together eloquently for us. My question is, when it comes to this on-passive, I know that Ashley talked about accreditation for colleges and things like in the future. Are we now in Bahamas? Is there accreditation for people who are teaching kids in online?
Yeah, go ahead,
Go
Daryl.
ahead.
Well, I was just going to say we do have our own accreditation systems, and there are many students that do graduate in the Bahamas that do go on to further education in many different countries around the world. We also have our own university system here in the Bahamas, and the courses are accredited and they are transferable also as well to many different universities around the world. So I don't see there'll be an issue there.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to share as well with Bruce is this. With the one college that we have, it's a private college in Grand Bahama where Janet and Eden and Dorothy and many of them are. And here's what I explained to them when we were talking. They have a college, and their one concern was, what do we do with the curriculum? You know, it's theirs. They don't want to lose it. Well, the Academy, all it does is gives the platform. You have control of everything that goes on that platform. You have control of where it goes, who can use it. Now, they have, it's a nursing college, but they also have a business degree. And I explained to them, think about this. Do you expand to international? Oh, yes. And we'd like to bring them in. Well, now they have a virtual platform to where they can have 200 plus countries come into their school. And then I said, this is the way my brain works. I said, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could have scholarships for the top 3 students to further their business degrees and also award them with a business that's already in place called on passive. So they get a diploma in business, they walk out with a business, and then they have scholarships to further their business desires. Kabingo, as Marty DeGarmo would say, kaboom, baby.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Anything else?
Well, I was always thinking in your presentation that you mentioned, connect how if somebody is teaching somebody who's in the Philippines and in the Bahamas, they have the language immediately translated to their language. So you can teach somebody from another country in their language through Connect.
You're muted, Daryl.
Oh, what happened? It has voice to text right on it. So as the teacher is talking in English or in Chinese or whatever, it will translate as they're talking. And so they'll get the voice to text right on it. Great point. But let me move on, if I could, Bruce, to Val. Val, you're up next.
Thanks again, Daryl.
You bet.
Thank you, Daryl. Fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I've just got one quick question. The teachers or educators have the Academy platform, but the kids don't. Can you please explain to me how the kids connect to it, to their lessons, and do they connect free?
That is an excellent question. Janet, do you want to take that or do you want me to take it?
Sorry, you can go ahead, Daryl.
Okay, this is the way I believe it'll work. The school district, let's say that we sponsored a school. The school now has that platform, that tool. And I do believe there's unlimited use. That's what we are told. And so the school will give permission to each and every one of the students that that school is going to be teaching. So they'll be set right up. They'll be able to call up their device. They'll click on passive. They'll click on Connect, which is going to be the teacher platform communication system, and they're off and running. It's that simple. Mr. Mufara said it's so simple that your kindergarten student can use it.
Okay, but how will that work for kids schooling at home?
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All of our tools have unlimited use, like our webinar service, unlimited. I just upgraded my Zoom and it cost me an extra $50 for 200 attendees. If I wanted to go further, it's going to cost me $90 a month plus my subscription. We get at one price, unlimited. Marty, do you have time? I just want to let, do you want to bring something in on that particular question? All right, great. I'll bring in, is it Mirthalyn?
Hello, good evening. Great presentation, Darrell.
Thank you.
I am so blown away because what caught my attention was you talk about St. Kitts. And St. Kitts, I'm from Nevis, so that's my sister island. Yes. So my question is, could you buy a founder's position for a government school as well?
Great question. That's what started this whole thing going.
Exactly.
When I talked to Mrs. Wilson, who I think is the president of the teachers union, I asked the question. I said, can public schools in Bahamas receive third-party funding? And she said, absolutely. And I know from another founder, he was part of the Rotary, and they used to provide many monetary donations for certain programs. So it might not be so easy in the United States, but we should certainly explore St. Kitts and the lower islands, but I would assume it's pretty similar to what's going on in the upper islands. Yes, Janet?
Well, go ahead, Martha.
Yeah, my other questions are, so who would be in charge of that founder's position? Because, okay, for example, in my country, I am sure that we can use some of that money towards sports. We can use it towards like kids who doesn't have lunch. We can use it for a lot of things.
So
that's why I am so interested in this program.
So the possibilities are endless. You can do it many different ways. If, for instance, here what we're looking at is creating that position for the school. The teacher ultimately may have sponsored it or the other founder. But once we get to that phase, if the school has a board of directors, then the board of directors can ultimately own the position. If it's a club or an association, then that association would then own the position. So it just depends on, there's multiple ways to figure it out. It just depends on however that entity is set up. But initially, I know there's a position that I currently have for a school that's going under, some board changes or however it's going to be. I'm going to hold that and I can just make a donation, because schools can just get donations at any different way. So if that school or entity or association that you're looking to fund doesn't have anything formal set up, then you can just go ahead and whoever wants to sponsor it will sponsor it, hold on to it, and just make the donations monthly. Or you can also even find a group of people who want to now create a private association that then wants to just take on projects and reach out to different clubs or associations and find out what their needs are, have them submit their needs to you, and then you can have like a little private association that then goes and feeds into those things. So it really just depends, where you are, what your situation is, and what you're looking to fund. I hope that helps.
Yeah, I'll just
Okay, well,
I'll give you one more suggestion.
I think I want. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, with the assistant superintendent that we had the meeting with the other day, I suggested, number one, that it will be an organic process. But one of my suggestions was, once the district realizes that they have this position in control, the Board of Education could simply make a bylaw that says that the treasurer and the assistant treasurer will have the means to be able to distribute the money as per superintendent and whoever deals with the allocations of money. So, working with the school district that I was working in, there were lots of times where money was brought in, and then the school board, which I believe should have the power to handle the funds, they're the ones in control. And so they can create, the school district could take that position and then have the school board, or however your ministry sets it up, have that advisory board take control and then make bylaws how to distribute the funds. So that's just one suggestion.
So then no one person will be in charge of the position.
Yeah, that's
would
the
be
best way.
under-
You always want to have accountability.
Right.
Right. That's ultimately the goal and the model that we are trying to create.
Okay,
But
then I
we
think
do
I
have
some. Go ahead.
but we do have some founders that are getting positions now and holding them until they can get those types of boards and things set up, because we don't want to lose out on the opportunity to secure the founder position while it's available. I was just adding to that.
You know what? I am so glad that I just jump on every webinar. For me tonight, this is such an eye opener. And I know that my country can deal with things like this. So Janet, thank you very much. Thank you, Darrell. I think what you just said about buying positions and holding them, and then I can decide where they go, because I know there's a need. I know there's a need. I would like to do one for my high school, So
right.
Yes,
I
exactly.
think that's what I'm going to do until I could figure out the rest.
Because once there's a will, there's a way. And once you have it secured, you will find the way. The way will present itself on how to set it up so that the need that you're trying to suffice will get fulfilled. We just all have the heart. And once we have the heart and the will, it will come.
Miss Mercelin,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just put in the chat my email address. So if you can find that, just write that down and let's communicate, and we'll build your nation.
I just want to thank you guys so much, because like I tell everybody, since I joined on Passive in 2020, I have graduated to a university level, because I have learned so much on these platforms, and thank God for Mr. Ash. But tonight, I think this is one of the most powerful webinar that I have attended. And for that, I truly thank you and Jeanette. And thank you for sending your email. I'm going to take. And I'm going to put my email address in for you too.
Okay, Janet, you want to take over bringing in the questionnaires?
Sure. I think we have Marty next. Or
Yeah,
there you go.
hello. Fantastic presentation. Fantastic. I don't care who all did it, but it was really, really good. And what it did is, a lot of people on passive look at the title of the product and look at it one dimensional. There's so much more into it. Like when educators see that everybody wants, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? You take this video and you hand it to somebody. The work is already done. An educator will understand it instantly. If I did, they will. And it's perfect. And interlocking everything that there's so many other things that interlock not only with the academy, but it was staff. And then you get into Connect, where, you know, I mean, it's just mind blowing where this could go. I sent the link already to Ash because he was going to try to make it live, but then you would be here till midnight, by the way. But anyway, he has the link. He's traveling now, but I did send it to him. Very good, Daryl. I mean, there you go. Like Mercelin just said, all of this is in plain sight. But when you break it down for people, then they go, "Oh my God, I didn't know that was there." There's a lot of things about Unpassive. I've been saying this for months. They look at it, but are they really seeing what it'll do? And when somebody goes in and breaks it down and then shows people, this is one of the best webinars going right now, because people can come in and say, "Oh my God, that is what it can do." So you just got to break it down where, you know what I mean? Sometimes you see something, you really don't see it. Then that one day you go, whoa, and this is that one day. And I think it's a big deal. I'm going to cut out the presentation part and have it for myself. And then that can also be posted in the back office. But definitely
that would be great. That's what I was thinking too, Marty.
I've already got it planned. I can cut out that part, put it in the back office and say, if you have educators or you want to show educators how Unpassive will work for them, wham, bam. It's a done
Wham,
deal.
bam.
And I'm going to give you a boom for that, Daryl. No, but anyway, it's a big deal. Very good. Very, very good.
Well, really, very kind words. And I want to extend that all to all the panelists that are here, because they really, they helped develop that. They gave the inputs. It's amazing how, you know, again, if you think you're a solo player, you'll lose out to the team every time. And then when you bring in the collaboration of the team and then let it just organically come together, that's what happened. And I've always been blessed, I'm not trying to pump myself up, but I've always been blessed to be able to take systems and look at them and simplify them, because I don't have a whole lot of acumen up here. I just have a lot of practical understanding of how things can work. And so I pull what I can and make it work for me. And that's gotten me through to 66 years anyways. Thanks, Marty.
Willow's up next. Hi, Willow.
Hi, I am so excited. You guys are just on the top for me. I want to help Native American schools. And my question, you've answered most of my questions. However, does the platform allow for non-credited classes, so to speak? Because a lot of the language classes that they teach on the reservations are not accredited classes. And so I have kind of a problem. Mercelin touched on it. I want to either take a couple of my positions that I already have and, you know, use them, because the Native Americans are very picky about what they accept from outside their own reservation, you know. And so I wanted to see if perhaps there was a way I could monitor how the money is spent, you know, and stuff. And you just cleared it up nicely for me. And I was so excited. I was sitting here with tears running down my eyes because you gave me the solution. But one of the things that I also want to ask, I have a lot of people that teach classes in making soap and making things, you know, from their hands and their crafts, arts and craftsy people. is O Academy going to be a vehicle that they can use to do those kind of things? I could understand they could use O Connect just like they do Zoom, because I teach classes using Zoom, how to make soap and things. But I have a whole group of people, I think if I could present them, hey, you can teach all of this, you'll have manage your own business, everything all in one spot using O Academy. And so I have heard where Ash has mentioned all the schools that are involved, but the platform itself, can it be used in other ways other than going through a college or a certified class? Janet, maybe you can help me.
Yeah, from my understanding of Academy, it's fully complete and it does everything. So it will have university courses on it. High school teachers can upload anything. If you have if you're a knitter and you want to put on there how to knit a certain stitch, you can put it up there on Academy and you can offer it out there. So imagine it as a way more sophisticated YouTube. I mean, today everybody goes to YouTube to learn anything because everybody just posts whatever they want on there. But Academy is going to be far superior to that because it will have the accredited items. Right, exactly. So just like Red's even commented that, you know, he can put his cooking courses on there.
Yes, I can hardly wait for that.
Yeah, and there's going to be teachers that are going to show up on there and put their tutoring lessons on there and be able to sell those and have those out there. So absolutely.
Well, I talked to the reservation where my dad was raised, and there's on the reservation they have a really complex system of management, you know, and they do things the old way. Like you can't even sit down and talk without holding the stick, you know, they pass it around, which is a better way of doing things, you know, we don't talk over anybody. However, there's a lot of corrupt things going on there. And they want to teach their kids their own native way also, like beading and drum making and things of that nature. And I just wasn't sure or confident enough to say, yeah, Academy is going to be able to handle that. But they were very, very enthusiastic about having a platform that would help them manage like the money situation and what goes to who, and you know, those kind of things like On Passive is going to have incorporated. So I thank you very much for taking time and letting me speak, because this is something really close to my heart. And I've been waiting for Academy to come out for I don't know how long. I've been so excited about it. And I'm going to teach myself, I think, as long as I can stay upright. So, but I thank you. Daryl, you did, and Janet did and those two other ladies, oh goodness, we ought to just pass that around. If you want to get enthused, Miss Kizzy, I tell you, we ought to hire you for our post, because you were fantastic. Thank you, darlings. I appreciate you.
Hey, I want to add one thing, Daryl, and then I'll be done. I got a bad habit of jumping in. But if you take Academy and you take OStaff and you take OConnect, if you can think it, you can do it. It's that simple. I don't care if it's making pizza, teaching French, how to make an airplane. It doesn't matter. If you can think it, all of those tools are flexible to do anything. Instructing, learning, whatever. That's what it was made for. There's titles to it, but the actual options of the product are unlimited, absolutely unlimited.
That's fantastic.
And let me add just one part to that, Marty. Now think about this. So let's say that I throw pottery, and so I can video and upload, and then I can sell that course. Or I can have the students come in and set them up with an account. All right. So now that person has an account, becomes a customer or reseller. And then if they like it, then it just starts rebounding. Or if I invite, let's say that I've contracted with student A and I said, look, do you have any friends that would like to come in and learn? I'm going to give 2 free lessons so they can come in. As soon as they come in and accept that Connect invite, bang, they get 7 days free guest trial. And then boom, you see the daisy chain, Willow?
It never changes. It never stops. You'll invite somebody to something for one reason, and they'll come and do other things. They're going to see, oh, wow, this is cool. I wonder if I could do that. You know how people are. That's how they are. It's going to explode. You'll bring in many. Look, I'm going to bring in thousands of free guests because guess what? They're locked to me forever. Eventually, they're going to find something on Passive they want just from wandering around because it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everything you can think of. They're going to go to Connect. They're going to go to the marketplace. They're going to go to e-commerce. Hey, I need that. I need that. And on Passive, it's going to have anything that you need. Eventually, it'll have anything you need.
I can hardly wait. Do you know on the reservation, they have a suicide rate among young teenagers, 5 to 10 a month. They're losing their young people so rapidly because they don't want to go to school off the reservation. They don't have proper education on the reservation that they want to learn. And Academy is going to be like a gift from heaven. They're going to be able to create their curriculum that fits the kids. You know, they want to learn music. They want to learn computers. And Ash mentioned a long time ago, they were going to have tech classes, you know. Well, the kids on the reservation can't get any of that because they have limited funds. In fact, you know, it's like they're on welfare. You know, they have just no funds to pay for those kind of classes. And I am so excited about this. I just wish that, we'd have had it 10 years ago.
Well, now's the time. Yes, you're welcome, Willow. If you don't mind, thank you again. And I'm going to move on to Angela.
Good. Absolutely.
So Angela, if you could go ahead and unmute and you have the platform.
Okay, yes, I've unmuted myself and good night to you. Hi, Darrell. Wonderful presentation. I got in a little late, but to compound what Mirthling was saying, because I'm from St. Kitts, and hearing St. Kitts called, I got so excited. And this goes on down the line where I was thinking on doing something with the primary school that I went to in my area, and also the home. We have a home for the elderly and one for the kids that don't have, the orphans in the area, in the country, but they're all situated in my area. And I was thinking on doing something with them because the old people home needs really, really, they did something to it, but it's not where it needs to be. And I am a caregiver, so I know what is needed. I was also a foster parent, so I know what the kids who don't have parents need. So hearing you say that there is something in education and hearing St. Kitts call really got my blood and everything moving. Because even Martlin and I talked about it, and I was wondering how we would go about setting up something within the islands and how it would go. So now that I know there is something, I can, because I started talking to a couple of people back there, trying to see where I could get, but I had no idea what I was doing and where I was going to go with it. So now I know you're there. So you will be hearing from Mirthling and I. All right. And guys who have organized these webinars, you're doing a wonderful, wonderful job. I don't come on and say anything, but I do listen. All right. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just continue those thought processes. Let's get together and we'll just, you know, this is just a model. and models are built so you can adapt. And so whatever we need to do, whether it's in you know, Nassau, or if it's down in St. Kitts or wherever, you know, that's what, remember, focus on the solution. The problem will be solved. And I truly believe that.
And I also believe that.
Very good. Now I think
I also believe that.
if we can move on, Armand, did you want to ask a question? You had your hand up, I believe.
Sorry, I had something, but it was off topic. It was regarding the indigenous family, the Inuit in Northern Ontario. They've had a 20-year boil water advisory. And that's off topic, though. I'm sorry.
No, that's quite all right. Quite all right. Well, thank you for that that knowledge, because knowledge is power. And maybe there's something that we can do. You know, when you think about the Oh Bless project that Chris Johnson has started, you know, there we go. There's another blessing that we could utilize, hopefully in the very near future. Chris, there we go.
If I may, it's the Neskantaga First Nations.
Yeah.
They demand action on 20-year boil water advisory here. It says on Google. All I did was
I am
Google.
aware of that, Armin.
I Googled.
I am aware of that.
All I Googled was 20-year water boil advisory. I didn't mention what country or anything. And it brought up the Neskantaga, Neskaantaga First Nations. They're having their children raised never having to drink out of the taps. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, Chris just said that he's aware of that situation. So
I brought it up the other night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
brought
there we
that
go.
up the other night.
You know, we're
Thanks.
networking. We're networking. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
amazing.
this is a godsend. I'm in awe of On Passive and everybody in it. Really, the
Wonderful.
unseen hand of God is providing the knowledge, the wisdom, the inventiveness of Mr. Ash Mafura. I'm positive, and he's given all the leaders the energy that you guys are expelling on behalf of all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Those are very kind words, but they're words that had, for me, a desire to move forward, because boy, there's a lot of nights that, oh my goodness, another webinar. I don't know how Chris and Marty and Julie and them will do it, but you know what? That it is because of the inspiration of all the other founders who bring it on, and then we're just instruments, and very glad to do it. Thanks for coming on and sharing.
Thank you.
So Janet, I didn't see any questions in the chat. Have you?
No, mainly comments.
Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, I would like to just wrap this up. Thank everybody so much for everything that you did to come here tonight. Saturday nights, you know, you know what Saturday nights are supposed to be for, and you came here. Really appreciate it. So Marty, Julie, thank you for everything you did to behind the scenes to get this up. Dan Street, thank you for all of your in-betweens, getting names here and names there. But now I understand what you go through every time.
And thank you everybody for coming and giving input and being here to listen. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support and everything that everyone's sharing. And I know that the future for the kids in the educational world is going to be brighter because of all the big hearts here. And then also, of course, the technology that Ash has put together and the tech team working really hard to make it all happen. a brighter future is ahead for everybody.
I want to shout out to Lynn Nakamoto too, because I know that she helped promote this for tonight, and appreciate that, Lynn and Ron. It's just so helpful when everybody comes together. I didn't think we'd get very many people, and wow, this is the first time that I've seen this kind of numbers for what we're doing. Appreciate it. Somebody had a question.
Dorothy wanted to say something.
Daryl, let me
Go ahead,
jump in,
Chris.
Dorothy. I'm sorry. Dorothy, give me one sec. Bill must text me. He said you send him the words and he'll make you a phenomenal video for your presentation. Dorothy, I apologize. Go
Hey,
right ahead.
Chris. If it's you, because it's you, it's no problem. I just wanted to say that thanks to Chantel and Kizzy, if I didn't have that fire behind me, they pushed me that little extra, that I needed. I've been here for a little over a year now, and I really needed a Chantel and Kizzy tonight. So ladies, thank you so much. And to all of our guests who were here, and thank you so much for your kind words. And together we are going to make this work.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dorothy, and everybody for your kind words, your great questions. Again, we're just trying to share with you folks that are new who have never seen On Passive. We hope that it was educational for you. We hope that you'll get back to the person that invited you here. For you founders, we hope that the expressed desire that we've had to share has communicated, and we've heard some great comments. So let's go out there, continue on. I would ask prayers for Mr. Mufara, his strength, the teams all over the world now. We've got so much work to do, as Chris keeps saying, and you are now the ones who are on the field. So let's share and share and share. That's all we have to do. Don't sell it. You don't have to. Don't make it any bigger than it is, because you can't get much bigger. Just tell the truth, share, and watch what happens.
Yes.
So good night, all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Truly appreciate you.
Everybody, good night. There you go, Chris. There you go. All right, everybody. Good to
night,
have
good night, good night. Everybody, that was fantastic.
Good sleep. Good
It
webinar.
was a wonderful webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Marty. Get that big head off here.
Girl wanted, being in love.
Good night, everybody.
Night, good night.
Hey,
Good night. Hey, man, how you doing?
Hey,
Good, brother. Good,
Here's
good,
Bruce.
good. Take care, everybody.
Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Good night, everybody.
The best in the West.
We're just waiting for Marty to shut her down.
Down, Marty.
Marty,
Shut her down. Chris,
Marty.
Good night. Good
Marty.
morning. Good afternoon.
Good night. Good night.
And good
Papua
night.
New Guinea.
See you guys at midnight.
Good night, everyone.
Papua New
Papua New
Guinea.
Guinea at
Good
midnight.
night.
See you guys at midnight.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
See you in Papua New Guinea. We doing pigeons, baby. We pigeon tonight.
Thanks again.
PNG in a few hours. PNG in a few hours.
Good job, Daryl.
Hey,
Thanks
guys.
a lot.
Good night.
Great job.
Hi, Rupa.
Yes.
Who's in the house?
Hey, Rupa.
Good job, Mr. Daryl. Good
night. Good job.
Thanks.
Rupa is full of energy.
Come on,
Yes.
from
I
down
am
under.
fully energy person.
Watch those sharks.
Great
Yeah, they
webinar,
need to win
Daryl.
it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the information. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. It was wonderful.
No
Chris,
problem.
how are we gonna do it? How?
I don't think Marty's going to shut us down. I don't think Marty's going to shut us down.
Marty's not gonna shut us down.
You're the host.
He's allowing us to have a little fun.
Daryl Cook, you're the host.
Chris,
Hey,
Chris.